Hi everybody, Starlight Aquamarina here, and welcome to my review of the first episode of the newest PreCure series, Kimi to Idol PreCure, also known as UN Idol PreCure. I've been wanting to expand on the YouTube channel with, other kinds of content that isn't VODs or shorts, just expanding on the channel. So, I've been planning on this for a while, and finally going to be doing the recording now. So, I'm going to be planning on also be doing a first episode impression review of Princession Orchestra when that comes out in April, and maybe also do one for Witch Hat Atelier once the anime starts airing. I won't be doing episode reviews of all the series. I'll just be doing the first episode, the final episode, and a bit of a check-in in between the two episodes. So, yeah, we'll be doing those. And I think without much to talk about, let's jump right into things. The episode begins with our main character, Uta Sakura, walking through town, walking her dog through town, saying hi to some townspeople before she sees a very peculiar sight in the river. A peach is floating down the river, and she has a pretty normal reaction to it. And then after fetching peach from the river, it suddenly hatches like a chow egg into a little fairy critter named Puriroon. And Uta has a bit of a normal, typical reaction to the peach suddenly giving birth to a little fairy. And right after that, we get our intro to the series, which is kind of a bop, but I personally, at least right now, wouldn't place it high on my favorite PreCure opening songs list. I mean, Hiragara's guy's intro is chef's kiss. But we do actually get some pretty nice little visuals, and something that probably is something that I am very happy to see be brought back. The CQC, as we see in the intro. We're getting back to the basics here after being deprived of proper PreCure CQC for the past 50 episodes of wonderful PreCure. I am so happy to be seeing that get brought back. So, after the intro, Sakura runs to her family's cafe called Cafe Glitter, by the way. I don't know if Cafe Glitter is actually meant to be a reference to the ill-fated Glitter Force English dub by Saban. It's probably a coincidence, but if it is a reference, that's a pretty funny reference. So Uta kind of has a pretty normal reaction to suddenly seeing a fluffy little animal-like creature talking to her. It is freaking out. But then when her family, her parents and her little sister show up and see the little critter, it's not moving. It just looks like a regular old stuffed animal. But to Sakura's annoyance. So after placing the little critter down, she starts working and helping at her family's diner. We are introduced to a mangaka artist named Emma, who announces that she is now officially releasing her first volume for her first manga series, which is not an easy task to achieve. So, a bit of a congratulations were in order. So Sakura starts singing. So this was something that Sakura had always done even as a young girl, a little girl. She always liked singing to uplift people's spirits, but also, to support them. And as she is singing her little ditty to Emma, Puriroon actually wakes up and sees Uta singing. And the next time that Uta tries to actually continue her work, she notices that Puriroon is missing. So after helping out, she goes to her room, relaxes in bed, pondering of what happened to the little critter. It's probably nothing, just take a nap. Then she sees the fairy mascot in her bed. And she also has an appropriate reaction. However, the fairy introduces themselves as PreCure, who came from a land called PreCure Land, which, it's kind of the typical PreCure magical world stories. The magical land was all good and happy and sunshine and rainbows until an evil organization took over it, and everything's all dark and sad and stuff. So, and PreCure is on a quest to find the mythical idol PreCure. That would supposedly help save the kingdom of the world of PreCure Land, and believes that Uta might have actually have been the idol PreCure that PreCure is searching for. However, Uta insists that she isn't, and after guilting Uta with little puppy dog eyes, manages to convince her to help him find someone who might actually be the idol PreCure in question. So they go into town, and PreCure is kind of acting like a little menace, moving around, even though Uta keeps asking him to not move around, kind of playing the straight man in a wacky situation. Also, as a side note, this episode is pretty hilarious. It has a lot of meme-worthy moments. At a couple points in the episode, Uta gets guilted by PreCure to buy something with her allowance. First with these little, idolite things that you use to wave around in a concert. Yeah, Uta lifts up her wallet in despair. Then later, PreCure gets really hungry and asks her to buy a hot dog for him that he reluctantly obliges, insisting that they would share. Only for PreCure to just gobble it down in one go. Poor Uta. But yeah, Uta, honestly, I really love the part where Uta's just lifting her wallet up in despair. I'm going to be using that as reaction image from now on. Lots of meme-worthy faces. Now, there's also a random bits of comedy that also help with the episode's humor. At one point, Uta just decides to just randomly ask random people, "Are you a PreCure?" Oh, as a side note, the very first thing that Uta does in their search for the idol PreCure is to just Google PreCure, but gets no results, which is really funny. Because honestly, if I was tasked to find a mystical creature or heroines that would help save a magical land, I probably would do the same thing. For sure, a lot of us would Google it first. But yeah, after a while of searching and failing to find mysterious idol PreCure, they actually end up encountering a sumo wrestler-looking guy sitting and enjoying hot dogs too. And she asks, "Are you PreCure?" And much to her shock says yes, which leads to a pretty funny fake-out ending sequence where it actually makes it look like it's like a massive punchline here is coming with the fake-out ending. Turns out, surprise, surprise, the wrestler guy is not a PreCure. It's just that my name is Kurikuta. And Uta just goes like, that doesn't even sound similar. Which is really funny. There's a lot of hilarious moments here. Although this recent failure kind of really does a number to PreCure's confidence, so Uta decides to take PreCure to her favorite spot in town to cheer him up. We then cut to a scene where we are actually properly introduced to villains again. Yay! I'm not going to turn this video into a rant about Wonderful PreCure because this is not relevant, but one of Wonderful PreCure's biggest problems was how much of an afterthought the villains were, and also as far as I can recall, since Delicious Party, we had not had a proper group of villains that are human, or who are humans since Delicious Party. Yes, I know that in Wonderful PreCure, the big bag was revealed to actually have been a human the whole time, but I'm just talking about the main general villain group. Unless the main big bag, Princess Darkeen, isn't human. We'll have to wait and see. We are very early in the series to tell. We're introduced to our villain group, who are themed around scissors and cutting. Heck, one of the generals is named Cuddy. And also, as a side note, the main female general, Mistress Chorine, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering them for a couple weeks, but her VA, uh, her VA previously voiced a character from Go Princess Predictor named Ronko, who, hilariously enough, in that she was that episode's victim of the week in the episode that she primarily is in, that she has the more focus on. Her dream is to be an idol, which is really funny. Actually, speaking of the Go Princess PreCure comparisons, I'll go into more further depth with the Go Princess PreCure comparisons later at the end, but I just want to point out that we have a voice actress from Go Princess PreCure whose dream was to be an idol, and now here she is voicing one of the main evil generals in the season that's themed after idols. Anyway, so after sending Cuddy out, also of interesting note that I didn't know but found out later after I watched the episode, the guy, one of the other evil generals, the one that isn't Cuddy, he's voiced by the Japanese voice actor who has been voicing Starscream for the last few iterations of Transformers. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he also voiced Starscream in Transformers 1's Japanese dub. Hi, editing Starlight here. A few days after I did the original recording for the video, I actually decided to look up the Japanese voice for Starscream, uh, Satsuji Sato, and yeah, turns out I was actually right. He does in fact voice Starscream in Transformers 1's Japanese dub. So yeah, I actually was right. Also, he turns out he also is the Japanese voice for Alistair in Hazbin Hotel, which is fun. And he also voices an NPC character named Corwell from in Granblue Fantasy, and said character appears during the Reflection of a White Clover story, which is a pretty rough storyline, but the point is that um yeah, so I was right about Starscream having this current Japanese voice actor who did in fact voice Starscream in Transformers 1, and also take a shot every time I mention Granblue Fantasy in the equation, because I will always bring up Granblue Fantasy whenever I can in terms of voice actors. Anyway, back to the original recording. It's not really relevant. It's just something I wanted to bring up because I'm a nerd when it comes to seiyuu voices. But anyway, going backward, back to where we're going, I believe we actually get our Eyecatch after this, the villain scene with the villains. But actually, one other thing I want to mention is that when we get introduced the scene introducing our generals, our evil generals for the season, we see her playing billiards. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. We see them introduce billiards, and then there's a shot of a shelf of what looks like to be alcohol drinks or glasses, and that immediately made me think of the League of Villains' original base from My Hero Academia. Like, seriously, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Right, it deadass looks like their original base from My Hero Academia. And also the evil general's base from Doki Doki Pretty too, because I believe that series also had a billiards table, kind of like bar like, one of those like out of the way bars that you would not think to look. Kind of isolated, kind of creepy looking, really. But yeah, after the Eyecatch, which has a heavenly tune playing, we'll get to the music in a sec. Also, at the end, Uta brings Puirun to her favorite spot, which is a view of the whole town, and also throughout the whole chunk of the episode, we see cherry blossom petals flowing in the wind, blowing around in the wind, which is a kind of like a visual reference to the fact that Uta's last name is Sakura, but honestly, it makes for a really pretty scene. And Purirun also talks about how beautiful Kira Kira Land was before it was destroyed, and this causes them to start crying, like upset because they've been trying to find these legendary warriors, idol warriors, but cannot find anything. And Purirun is all looks really sad. Poor little guy. So Uta decides to cheer him up by singing. and by also doing a little singing numbers and singing a little number to him. And that not only cheers up Perry Room, but also makes him believe that that Uta may have actually been the one they've been looking for the whole time. Now, after this little scene here, it's kind of a heartwarming scene. We also cut to the mangaka, Emma, who I mentioned earlier, doing a little opening for her debut manga volume, only to get attacked by Cuddy, and for the first time in a while, she gets basically her form taken, and then merged to make the first MOTW, or Monster of the Week, for this episode, which I haven't seen in a while, actually. I believe the last time they, consistently did the human victims for the MOTWs in the franchise was Star Twinkle Creature. And even then, Star Twinkle didn't start doing it until after several episodes in. But yeah, this is actually kind of one of the ways that MOTWs would get made, though I think Eyecatch Creature kind of came to people's minds. And also go for more relevant, Go Princess Creature, but again, the Go Princess comparisons will have to come later, even as I want to actually talk about the MOTW monster, which is in this series is known as the Makaranda. So once the Makaranda goes on a rampage and it's destroying property, just tipping over cars, Pyrrhon realizes that the Makaranda was actually the mangaka Emma, now trapped inside the monster, and that her Kira energy is taken. Note, it's a Kira, not Kiraru. Kiraru was the energy in Kira PreCure all mode. Kira is the positive energy in this series, so I had to, point out the differences here. So, when Uta tries to actually snap Emma out of it by singing, but even though she keeps trying, the monster just keeps trying to attack her, and she just keeps getting back up and keeps singing and trying to get through, and that she won't stop until she reaches Emma through her songs. And lo and behold, she actually is chosen to become an idol PreCure. She was the one that Pyrrhon was looking for. We see the transformation devices, which is turns into a ribbon-like device, and we get the magical girl goodness of the transformation sequence, which is actually amazing to watch. My one nitpick with this episode, or rather with the transformation sequence, is that they don't sing. That probably is something else that a lot of people were kind of probably bothered a lot of people about. Star Twinkle PreCure had the Cure singing in their transformations, but I don't know why the Cures here weren't. But who knows? Maybe later we'll get a super form or a final transformation form where they do sing in the transformation sequence, a la Happiness Charge's innocent forms. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, and also, much like what the intro teased us, we are actually back to having CQC in PreCure, which I sorely miss. Again, this is not gonna turn into me ranting about wonderful PreCure, but I really miss seeing the CQC after 50 episodes of no CQC or very little, because the only time we ever see CQC in wonderful PreCure is in Nyami's first debut episodes, and even then, in this in that season, it's viewed as the wrong way to go about it, wrong way to handle the situation. Jen, I'm not gonna rant about wonderful PreCure. It's not relevant to the topic at hand. So yeah, after transforming into her PreCure form, we get our typical requisite pink lead fights as a PreCure form for the first time. The unexpected high jumps, and the freak out goes like, "Oh my god, I'm wearing this new outfit. What happened to me?" And then we get to the best part, the battle. I love that her punching is not the epic one punch that Flora does in the in her first fight in Go Princess PreCure, nor the epic holding back the enemy punch with one hand and then just punching it, and also doing an epic one punch that Kira Sky does in her first fight in Hiragara's guy. No, her punching is just basically hitting him over and over, two-handed, and like she's if you were like to lay it on the bed and just punching your pillow in frustration, two-handed like a child. It's kind of really amusing to look at. And then after knocking him down, we actually get our finisher, which is really amazing. It's basically her just performing a song, which is her song, Egao no Unison, which I believe is the song's title actually. I think they showed it on the Twitter account. Her just performing a short bit of her song, whereas the Macarena just sits down with the lights and just vibing, and then she just finishes it off with an actual proper PreCure attack, which is great. Just a side note, I actually really do like that that what seems to be the character songs could actually factor in it, and also I like the beginning part, where it says "I'm the climax," which is honestly a pretty cool thing to say right before you start a finisher. It's really great. Chef's kiss. Then after defeating the Macarena, Emma is saved. After Cuddy just GTFOs out of that situation. I have to go report to Mrs. Chokerine. And after he disappears, magic, the whole destruction the Macarena causes dissipates because magic. Emma wakes up with no memory of what happened, and then the episode ends with at first the absolute delight of now being a PreCure and being the idol figure that Perrin is looking for, only for Uta to be shocked that she is the one that Perrin was looking for the whole time. Right after that, we get our ending song, Trio Drains, which is an absolute jam. And also the beginning parts in the intro part of the ending song is an absolute earworm. And then we get our next episode preview, which will be coming up on Sunday. This Sunday, I'm recording this on Tuesday as of this recording, so by the time this comes up, hopefully it'll be up before episode 2 airs. But now I want to quickly take a quick note about the next couple episodes, because I know we'll actually go over my end of thoughts and some extra additional related PreCure stuff. So, yep. Let's go into that right now. So, with the release of episode 1, we also actually had gotten some magazine stuff related to the next upcoming few episodes afterwards. These aren't technically leaks because they came from official sources, specifically Japanese magazines and newspaper stuff. So, as we had predicted, we're not going to get introduced to Cure Wink until episode 3, and Cure Kyun debut episode is nowhere to be seen in this episode listing, so I have a feeling that she'll probably join a few episodes later. Now, episode 2 is I'm Going Viral, where basically it seems to suggest that someone or something must have recorded Cure Idol's first fight against the Macarena and got posted on the internet. It's probably Curesta, because that is the PreCure universe's equivalent to big social media app. But yeah, honestly, I'm actually willing to bet that it was something like a video camera, kind of like with what happened with Doki Doki PreCure, where it turned out that Mana's first fight in the beginning was actually caught on security footage at Clover Tower. And Alice, that's how Alice learned, but thankfully, because Alice has money and prestige, she was able to get the footage erased and thus keep the PreCure secret intact. But yeah, I actually would not be surprised if it turned out that it revealed that something or someone caught footage of Cure Idol's first fight against the Macarena in episode 1, and that's why she's going viral on the internet. But yeah, we're also in that episode, we're also going to be introduced to Nana, who, with the reveal that in episode 3, she's going to become Cure Wink in episode 3. So, not gonna take too long. We don't know what's gonna be when Kyun's joining the team, probably after a few more episodes. But yeah, I was really happy with this episode. I just hope that it kind of doesn't squander the strong start it had, because there had been a couple instances of PreCure seasons in the past that have had really strong starts, only to kind of squander it. Now, I want to briefly talk about all the Go Princess PreCure reference comparisons that I could not help but notice. As a side note, Go Princess PreCure is my favorite PreCure season. Overall, in 2025 is the 10th anniversary of Go Princess PreCure, so I could not escape thinking of the comparisons. I already mentioned earlier that one of the evil generals, Mistress Chokirin, is voiced by voice actors had previously voiced a character named Ronko from Go Princess PreCure, and also I noted the humorous irony that when she became the victim of the week in that series, her dream was to become an idol. So it's really funny. And that the same Seiyu would actually voice an evil general this season. The season that had Idol in its title, and idols from Idol PreCures. Idol warriors. But yeah, another Go Princess PreCure comparison that I realized was that the victim of the week was a manga artist, and the MOTW, the Bakaranda for this episode, was basically a manga comic and fights with basically a drawing pen, and also fires stuff afterwards, like a blunderbuss, like some kind of blunderbuss. But yeah, that certainly ended up coming to mind Yui from Go Princess PreCure, who was not only the first victim of the week in that series. Her dream was to become a picture book artist, which, while picture books and manga are not the exact same thing, they do involve pictures. They involve pictures in a book. Picture books and manga are not the same thing, so don't get the wrong idea. But yeah, I could not help but think of the comparisons. That's not even getting into the fact that I had a massive tinfoil hat moment where basically mentally comparing Kira Idol's design to Kira Flora's design, from the blue-eyed, long blonde hair, pink in hair, and including a part of Kira Idol's dress looking identical to Kira Flora's overskirt. And I could not mentally escape the Go Princess PreCure comparisons, because I really hope that means that they are intentionally implanting the Go Pre references on purpose. Because again, 2025 is the 10th anniversary of Go Princess PreCure. If the solo movie for New and Idol PreCure ends up not involving the Go Princess team in any way, I am going to be disappointed. Heck, I would actually take any Go Princess PreCure anniversary related stuff from Toei. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, I actually could not escape the mental comparison. So, in short, I really liked this episode. I am so happy to see the CQC stuff we brought back. The episode had a lot of pretty hilarious moments, and Uta has blessed us with memes, because isn't that the most important thing of all when it comes to a PreCure protagonist, is the memes. But yeah, if you're looking, I really do hope that it keeps having that decent strong streak, because we haven't had that one in a while. I know a lot of people really like Wonderful PreCure, but I kind of feel like I belong in the rare group of people that did not like it. So, anyone who actually loves a Wonderful PreCure, don't be mad at people like me who didn't like Wonderful PreCure. Not even, again, what I'm mentioning is not relevant to the series thus far, but again, after sitting through 50 episodes of Wonderful PreCure with the very little of what makes PreCure, well, one of the things that kind of gave PreCure its identity in the first place, seeing Mito Idol PreCure bring that back, I am very happy for. I do like it when PreCure and by extension toy try something new, but yeah, honestly, I actually won't mind if they don't do stuff like this as much again. But yeah, you and I will PreCure first episode, fantastic. Uh, Probably a technical 9.5 out of 10. Kind of lost a couple points for not having the cure sting in transformation, but yeah, really great. If you can watch the you and I will PreCure, I highly recommend watching it. Although technically my first recommendation is always going to be Go Princess PreCure, but if you want, something want something to keep watching, I actually recommend looking into watching you and I will PreCure if you want to watch something while it's still airing. But yeah, now as I mentioned on the top, I will also be doing a first episode impression on Concession Orchestra when that drops in April, and I'll also be doing something similar to that with Witchhead Atelier once that begins airing. However, with that last one, I will be doing a bit of a manga to episode comparison at the end of that one because I've been reading the manga and I want to do a comparison. Now, I'm not going to do a video review on episode 2. I'm actually going to do a full season core check-in after the winter core concludes. When next time I talk about Kimito Idol PreCure will be the check-in stuff, where I go over all the other episodes after episode 1 to the one that aired at the end of the winter core. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. If you like what you watch here, subscribe to my YouTube channel. But also check out my Twitch channel. Because that's mainly what I do. I mainly stream games on Twitch. I just stream whatever I want to play on that particular occasion. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my Twitch channel, check out my Twitch channel, and if you're interested in seeing more, give it a follow. It's twitch.tv/Starlight Aquamarina on Twitch. And if you want to see more, turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I post these videos. Or if you're interested in checking out my streams live, follow the Twitch channel and also turn on notifications. So yeah, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I have to tune out now. Bye!